Hey everybody, happy Monday to you. I'm going to start this week with a little bit of honesty. That shouldn't be unusual. I always try to be honest, whether I'm teaching or one-on-one or with the staff, but I started this daily dose like I start everything, in a rush, in a hurry. A ton of things going on. I had to set aside and do this, quickly jumped into the Word, what am I going to do, the Devo on, how can this be made good in the time that I have, and I just realized I'm tired. Are you tired? Are you tired of rushing? Are you tired of the business? Is it ironic that in the summer months where we carve out maybe more time for family and kids out of school and vacation and rest, it leaves us more tired than when we're in our regular routine? And so I put aside the Bible and I grabbed an old book, tattered and torn, in my library called Celebration of Discipline. It's been a go-to for me over the years, written by Richard Foster. I want to read a paragraph, how he summed up Jesus and how much he looked for solitude and time away from the regular flow and the crowd and the hurry and the busyness and the noise that you and I surround ourselves with in life. Just read a few of these excerpts. It said Jesus started his ministry by spending 40 days alone in the desert. That's in Matthew 4. Before Jesus chose the 12 disciples, he spent an entire night alone in the desert hills. Luke 6. When he received the news that John the Baptist was killed, he withdrew from there in a boat and he went to a lonely place. Matthew 14. After the feeding of the 5,000, Jesus went up to the hills by himself. The end of Matthew 14. Following a long night of work, in the morning, a great while before day, he rose and he himself went to a lonely place all by himself. Mark chapter 1. When the 12 disciples returned from preaching and healing mission, Jesus instructed them, "Come away by yourselves to a lonely place." Mark chapter 6. Following the healing of a leper, Jesus withdrew to the wilderness and he prayed. Luke 5. With 3 disciples, he sought out the silence of a lonely mountaintop as a stage for his transfiguration. Matthew 17. As he prepared for his highest and most holy work, Jesus sought out the solitude of the Garden of Gethsemane. Matthew 26. I could probably go on, but I think this is sufficient. So much of these Jesus stories that we're giving you in our daily dose have been kind of the best stories, the best teaching, the best miracle. I want to start this week with my favorite Jesus stories, at least for today, is when he did nothing. Absolutely nothing. When he realized the pace that he's going and the amount of people he's dealing with and the stress that he's carrying and the pressure on his shoulders, that if he didn't stop and do nothing for a while, he would accomplish nothing. Maybe Jesus' doing nothing is the most he could have done to show us how to do something. What I mean by this on this week and this Monday, how tired are you? I want to give you permission, not that you need my permission. I just want to challenge you with encouragement. Where are you going to do nothing today or tomorrow? Where can you carve out some time to just do nothing? The type of nothing that you enjoy. The type of nothing where you sit in the backyard with just your favorite drink in your hand. The type of nothing where you allow yourself to drive the 5, 8, 10 miles, if you're fortunate enough to live here in Southern California, and sit at a beach just for 20 minutes and do nothing. Park on the cliffs over Carlsbad and just do nothing. Walk out to the woods and just do nothing. Where is the nothing that you enjoy that helps make you a better something after you spent time doing nothing? In the midst of teaching, in the midst of miracles, in the midst of hurry, business, and noise, we have over and over and over and over again Jesus having to stop the machine to get out and do nothing. And in that nothing, in that solitude, in that rest, he came back better knowing who he was. Well, he came back knowing better whose he was. You see, even the Son of God needs to be reminded that he's the Son of God and what his calling is. Otherwise, he's going to chase his potential. And if I chase my potential, when I do that long enough, I become no good to myself and those around me. Don't chase your potential today. Chase your calling. To chase your calling, you have to be selfish with some of your time. You have to carve out places of nothingness. I know you're sitting there, Chris, you don't know my schedule, you don't know my family, you don't know my routine. Well, then you don't know my Jesus. By the way, part of being a Christian, a Christian, is one who is like Christ. You want to be like Christ? Take some naps. If you refuse to take naps, if you refuse to look at solitude, stop calling yourself a Christian. The God we followed needed to take breaks. He modeled it for us. Happy Monday, you're tired. So am I. Let's find a place this week to do nothing.